Hey everybody, let's take 5 minutes out of our day and meditate on God's Word together. The Gospel of Matthew shows us that King Jesus has arrived. The King of Israel, the King of the world, has finally come to set everything right. But it's not before long that he encounters a rival king, the prince of the power of the air, Satan. In Matthew 8, verse 28, Jesus encounters two demon-possessed men. And when he came to the other side of the country of the Gadarenes, two demon-possessed men met him, coming out of the tombs, so fierce that no one could pass that way. And behold, they cried out, "What have you to do with us, O Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" Now a herd of many pigs was feeding at some distance from them. And the demons begged him, saying, "If you cast us out, send us away into the herd of pigs." And he said to them, "Go." So they came out and went into the pigs, and behold, the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea and drowned in the waters. The herdsmen fled, and going into the city, they told everything, especially what had happened to the demon-possessed men. And behold, all the city came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their region. So to set this up, Jesus is on the other side of the Sea of Galilee. That is, he's on the Gentile side of the sea. The eastern shore was in the area called the Decapolis, which was a Gentile-possessed area. And so what this means is, it's like Jesus is going into enemy territory. He's going into foreign land. And what happens? Well, he meets two enemies, really, two men who are possessed by demons. The men are not his enemies, of course, but the spirits who possess them are. They're so fierce, no one could pass that way. So these people are harming themselves. They're harming others. When we see the other accounts of the Gospels, this is typical of demon-possessed people. This is a showdown with Jesus. They say, "What have you to do with us?" It's a battle of the wills. Who is going to win here? This is our territory. This is our land. What are you going to do to our land? So it's almost like he crosses over into enemy territory to have this confrontation. But it's the most anticlimactic battle you've ever seen. This would make an awful movie because there's no climax. There's no real conflict. They immediately cave to King Jesus. "What have you to do with us, O Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time of judgment, when they presume they will be banished or destroyed or whatever?" But he just says the word go. The only word Jesus says in this whole paragraph is go. And they go. There's no battle. There's no struggle. Jesus says one tiny word and the demons flee. In fact, they try to negotiate. Before he even says anything, they're already negotiating. "Please just send us into pigs, please." Now, it's strange that they're saying pigs. There's nothing special about pigs, but that's kind of the point. They're so desperate to survive, they'll go to pigs. And from a Jewish standpoint, that's just the most unclean animal you could go into. The exorcisms of Jesus demonstrate the liberation he brings. Every portrait of demon-possessed people in the New Testament is cutting themselves or isolating themselves, throwing themselves into fire. And that shows the effects of sin. That shows what Satan's reign looks like. The world is self-destructing since the beginning, since sin came in the world. When King Jesus returns, he brings healing and restoration. But he can't share territory with someone who wants to steal, kill, and destroy. That's the opposite of what he wants to do. They asked Jesus to leave. Now, he seriously wrecked their economy. And Jesus confronts the sin of their hearts, of their lives. He confronts the sin in your heart. He damaged their economy. He upset their life and they wanted him to go. When Jesus comes into your life, he may upset some things. He wants to drive sin out of your heart. So the question for you is, will you ask him to leave, or will you let him stay and heal you? Jesus has the power to kick Satan out of planet Earth. He even has the authority to release you from Satan's strongholds that he has in your heart. He has the power to forgive all sins. We'll talk about that next time we take 5. I'll see you then.